Wearing the old clothes. I think I need advice. I don't know what's going on, and to be honest, I need help. We are not married, engaged, with 2 loving kids. We met 15 years ago. She was my first girlfriend. I was her 3rd boyfriend ever. Our beginnings were great. Passion, love, bonding, everything. We moved together a year later, in a 1-bedroom tiny apartment. Everything was cool. She didn't have many friends, so we would be together all the time, except when she was at work. We gave each other rings, so we were engaged but never got married. It was symbolic. But I knew she wanted to get married one day, which I wanted too. Years passed and we moved to different, bigger apartments. Bonding was good, but after a few years, it went away. We had slept together maybe once a week, but then it became once a month, once every 2 months. All the time I was trying to initiate. Nope, always a different excuse. A few years later, we bought our first house. We decided to have our first child. She gave birth to our daughter. After a few years, we sold the house and moved to a new one. Then she added this guy on Facebook, a guy she went to school with him. A single dude. Saw from the corner of my eyes that she was texting him. Started asking questions. Who are you talking to? Oh, I'm talking my sister about BS. Started asking questions. She put a password on her computer and on her phone. Long story short, she didn't change her Facebook password, so I logged in while she was at work. Yep, they were talking. Every day. I read everything. They both initiated the chat. Innocent texting, but the guy was clearly into her and was obviously trying to get her. I was pissed off. The trust was breached because, even if they weren't talking about shocking stuff, she lied to me. She didn't cheat, but she lied. He asked her to send photos. She sent face selfies. Phew. But then she told him to send pictures to an email address I didn't know about. Then she said to him that she doesn't go out very often and gave him her phone number ending with 3 dots. I went crazy and I made some dumb excuse about stumbling upon this when I was packet sniffing the network. Good one. I waited until she came home, logged onto her Facebook and showed her the chat log. She didn't say a word. She was speechless at first. Then she told me that I was paranoid and changed all of her passwords. I made threats of leaving because I believe this was obviously the start of an emotional affair. Let the dust settle down. Weeks passed by and they stopped talking to each other. Another guy found a new girlfriend and is now engaged. I've put this all behind me, but the trust was, and still is, fragile. Why? Because she lied. I became paranoid because of this and the lies. Fast forward a few years later. We had our second child. Bonding was once every 3 to 4 months. She told me that maybe if we got married, we would sleep together more often. I honestly don't believe her. We agreed on not having a 3rd child. She didn't take the pill. I really didn't want a 3rd kid, so I ended up having a vasectomy in the hope we had slept together more often. Nope, no change at all. Fast forward to present day. Nothing has changed. Bonding once every 4 to 5 months, and I'm always the one who initiates it. I am under the impression that she doesn't want me to see her phone. Ringer is always off. Notifications are sent to her watch I gave her on her birthday. Oh, and she doesn't even buy me birthday or Christmas gifts. She made me a cake but didn't put icing on it. She told me to do it myself. I feel miserable. She says she's faithful, yet she doesn't want to give me her phone password. She told me that she gave me once and I don't remember, so that's my problem. She gave me her computer password but deleted her Facebook password from the autocomplete thingy. Recently it seems that she started caring more about her appearance. New hair color, new clothes, tighter clothes she never wanted to wear before. Started doing her nails. Started posting a lot on Facebook and Instagram. Started waxing, shaving more than often, new underwear, new bras. Told her, hey, you bought new bras. And she replied, are you spying on me? Even when she's not working, she spends entire days shopping. Leaves the house at 10 then won't be back before 5. All this time for 1 or 2 bags of crap. Also, she disabled her Facebook location and online status and told me that it was because I was being paranoid, so she disabled it. Jesus, I can't deal with insecurities like this. She lied to me in the past with that muscular douche. Told her I won't forget. Today we fight about her cluttering. She told me that I'm damn annoying. Out of anger earlier tonight I told her, well, what you want? Do you want me to sell the house and we part ways or what? She said do it. Next day, came back from work early. She was sitting outside on her phone. We talked a bit and the conversation turned into an argument. Then she told me out of the blue that she wasn't sure she loved me anymore. We fight sometimes, we disagree on things, we agree on other. We're a good team taking care of our 7-yo and 9-yo kids. I didn't expect that. I asked for details, explanations. She said she wants time for herself and that she's tired of putting everyone and everything before herself. The spark isn't there anymore like it was back in the days, and bonding isn't as good as it was when we were young rabbits. Duh. She rejected me so much before that I stopped trying. Asked if she loved me, she said I don't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Apparently, she was thinking about it for a while, a year, but things got clearer in the last few months. Asked if there was someone else, she said no. She never told me anything about this, except for the usual complaints I made: lack of bonding, lack of discipline and chores, lack of patience with our kids. I was a loving BF and a great dad. Also, she said I used to falsely accuse her of being unfaithful and having an affair. Yeah, the guy she was texting with a few years earlier, and it broke the trust and saddened her that I thought about this. I know. When I saw her on her phone, I would joke, hey, stop texting to hot guys. Many times a day, many times a week, many times a month. I would punch myself in the face if someone else was doing that to me. Then she talked about bonding. Told me I last less than 10 minutes and she can't feel a thing and it isn't even fun. Before penetration, I make sure to get her to orgasm with my tongue. Seems that it's not enough. I can't last for more than 10 to 15 minutes. It's not enough for her. She told me that we were at a crossroad and that bonding isn't working for us and she is contemplating leaving. A few weeks ago, she told me that bonding wasn't important and that she could live without bonding, without any issue. She even told me that she had LL and maybe have zero desire. Now she's telling me that she wants to leave me because of bad bonding. Every day when I came back from work, I would hug her and kiss her. I told her that I loved her every day. I cared for her. Told her it saddens me that she didn't tell me a word about it and that it deeply saddens me that our relationship might end. She told me that it saddens her too. I asked her then what we do. She said she don't know. I said, well, why would we stay together if you don't love me? I didn't say I don't love you. Next day, I felt so bad. She came at me and hugged me. I couldn't hold it. I cried in front of her and told her about my insecurities and the fact that I absolutely love her and want to spend the rest of my life with her. We ended up hugging and kissing, both of us looking in our eyes and kissing. She told me that she wanted that too and she loved me. Perfect way to end the day. I explained my fears, my concerns and my expectations about transparency and honesty. Sincere conversation, gazing, love was there. Then today, she couldn't leave her phone, was laughing at something. What's so funny? Nothing, she said. Then she locked herself in the bathroom with her phone. Locked herself in our bedroom with her phone. Obviously, something on her phone made her laugh. But she got angry, told me I was annoying as crap. Explained her that we must be transparent to each other and no more secrets. May I see your phone? Why? Then did my whole speech about transparency and honesty. She told me, wow, so you don't trust me at all. Then said, I don't think we will spend the rest of our lives together. Love is ephemeral. Nobody knows what could happen. Okay, so why are you always putting your phone on silent, screen facing down, and you don't give it to me when I'm asking? I said, okay, then if you don't care, why don't you give me your phone? She unlocked it, cleared notifications, and angrily threw it at me saying, screw you. Told her that I didn't forget about the time she texted that muscular douche behind my back. Why is she hiding her phone every time I enter the room? Ask me to go check out our kid, take it to look at it and hides it back. Honestly, I don't get it at all. What is going on? I don't know what to think, I feel so bad. I love her, I want our family to stay a family, but this hit me hard in the face. Is it because I am paranoid? Am I right to be paranoid? Am I completely crazy or simply well gaslighted? I'll take the time to reply later today because I'm at work. As for the DNA test, I have absolutely no doubts. They both are replicas of me. I found the truth. Just found out that she was in fact sleeping with a guy I suspected. He is also in a relationship and he have kids. Installed a keylogger on her PC. Gained access to her phone bill. A number was appearing every day. Also, dozens of texts sent and received every day associated to this number. Called the number and managed to get his name. That was it. Instantly recognized her new FB friend that liked every single post and picture she posted. The keylogger also took screenshots. One screenshot was enough to prove her guilty. They were talking about bonding, obviously, the one they had this afternoon when she told me she was going to do groceries. I found his girlfriend's number, called her, told her who I was and told her about the affair. She was devastated. She hasn't wake up yet. Her phone is likely off. I expect a crap storm in the morning. I am not even mad. I get closure. Finally, I'll be on my own. This relationship needed to end and whatever she will say in the morning, I will face it and defend my honor. I stayed for the kids. This is the only reason. It was over for years. It was a safety net. But now I get it. I love my kids. I didn't want to share custody. I didn't want to see them grow every other week. But for my own good, I need to leave. I can finally leave her knowing the truth. My comment: there is a chance that you will not hear the truth. Then you will have to become a detective and make a small investigation. I wouldn't do this because you should spend that energy meeting better ladies out there. Story 2. What is this? My husband and I have been married for 7 years now and we have 3 beautiful children. After our second child was born, he started playing games of war. I caught him late night sitting behind the couch smiling and laughing while he's typing on his cell phone. I thought he was cheating on me, but he showed me the game and told me all about it. How fun it was and how to play it. A few months after, he kept bugging me to download it and to play it with him. And I did. Anyone who isn't familiar with the game, well, this game is about building an army and destroying one city. It's not all. Millions of other people play and you get to chat with them on the game. To add to that, players like to show off the battle reports and you can't do this in the game, so what they would do is screenshot it, and they have this messaging app called Line where they can video chat, send messages, call, and send pictures. Crazy, right? Anyways, it's been more than 4 years and he is still playing this game. I, on the other hand, left the game. My hubby used to have taken me out on dates and take us all out as a family. But ever since this game came into his life, all he cares about is work and games. Hubby works a lot of hours at work, and when he gets home, he usually spends time with me and the kids on the couch watching TV. Now, when he gets home, he doesn't even say hi to me or the kids. He comes in the door, head down, looking at his phone. I've tried getting him to quit, but he said he will quit in his own time. Now that we have our third child, nothing has changed. He got worse. He would wake up in the morning and the first thing he would do is ran his phone. Goes to the bathroom and stays there for a long time. I'm talking about hours. After that, he goes to the garage and smokes his cigarettes and stays on his phone still playing. When I would ask him to change our kid's diaper, he would get mad at me and yells at me and tells me to feed me first before you tell me what to do. Really, I mean, just me typing this is making me cry. I don't understand him anymore. When the kids talk to him, or if anyone is talking to him, he doesn't even look at us. Instead, he looks at high phone playing. I've tried talking to him. I told him that it's hurting me and the kids, that he's always at work, and when he comes home, we don't even have his time. He told me I am overreacting, and then we would fight and yell and scream at each other. And it has gotten to the point now that every time we fight it's about him and that stupid game. He would yell at my face, cursing at me, and tells me that I don't pay for anything and that I'm useless and that I have never paid any bills. A lot of times I just cry myself to sleep. I am not happy and my kids are not happy. We don't have family time anymore. Just recently, on Father's Day, he came home late. The kids and I had set up a gift for him and put it on our bed. I have a baby monitor installed in our room, and as he entered the room, he didn't even see the gift. He grabbed his charger, which was next to the gift, and he didn't even dare take his eyes off of that phone of his. I'm sorry if I'm ranting here. Please, can someone tell me, what would you do? How would you handle something like this? I am lost and very emotional. Our kids are growing up so fast and he doesn't even see that or care at all. Any advice would be great. At first, I really thought he was having an affair, but he gives me his account logins. I really do think he is addicted. I forgot to mention, playing this game cost money. To be able to get up in power, you need to buy $99 packs, and I can't even tell you how much he has spent already. It's heartbreaking. All I want is his time. If not with me, at least with our kids. I told him that, and his response is always, I just want to unwind. I get it, he is tired from work. It just breaks my heart when our eldest has to always ask him to play with him outside, and he would snap at him and tell him to go to sleep. Before having kids, he was into sports. He loved sports. He would make sure we would always BBQ and have some friends over. But that stopped after he seen the commercial on TV. After having our firstborn, we used to go out all the time. He loves watching movies. We would always go on date nights every week and catch a movie. You're right, he loves food. Besides me cooking, he loves to try new restaurants. See, we had many friends back then. We would always spend time with our friends, and I would let him go out on his own with his friends as well. He loves playing billiards and he is good in poker. Last week, I mentioned to him that he should go out and call a few of his buddies and play billiards, but he refused and said I'd rather just stay home. I don't understand him anymore. We don't even go out to the movies anymore. And he loves watching new movies that just came out on theaters. And when I tell him there's a new restaurant with great Yelp reviews, he'd say get ready, let's go. But once we get there, he doesn't want to eat in. Instead, he wants to take it to go. It's not like him. I'm depressed because I don't know what's going on. Instead of talking to me, he'd rather chat with someone else who he does not even know in real life. I reached out to his manager a few months ago, and I asked if his company offers some sort of marriage counseling, and she said that they do have it. I tried bringing this up, he brushed it off and said, we don't need that. I've brought it up last night to him about quitting the game. And guess what? He was on his phone rallying and did not even hear me. Every time I talk to him or anyone talks to him, we have to keep repeating ourselves. And he doesn't even listen. It's like I'm talking to a child. I try to just let him be. But it's too much already. I mean, seriously, every day. That's all he does when he's around. It's like, he's here with us but he's not. If that makes sense. I just feel so sorry for my kids. They are still young, way too young. I thought about leaving so many times. But how can I when I pretty much turned my back on my family because of him? How will I feed my kids? Where will we stay? All these questions I have, I wouldn't know where to start or who to run to. Every time we argue, he would say all these hurtful words. He would even curse at me in front of our kids. He's not the same anymore. He would slap it to my face that I'm not working and that I don't do anything. That I have not paid for a single bill in our home. That's true that I am. It is working, but when I had a job, I split everything with him. He makes it seem like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have everything I have now. I guess all I'm trying to say is, I'm just thinking about my kids. I love them too much. All they want is some family time. My eldest would go to my uncle's house every weekend and he would come home all the time begging if we can have a family movie night. How can we have family movie nights when his dad doesn't even watch the movie with us? Instead, he is on the phone and in and out of the house. I'm sorry. I know I'm ranting again. It's just, I'm glad I found this app. I have no one to talk to. I don't have any friends like I used to. I tried locking him out of his account. He got angry and took my phone. He said it's his phone and that everything I own he paid for, so that did not help. 4 years ago, he said he would quit on his and to not rush him. So, I waited patiently, but he just got worse. His friends seen how he was addicted to this game. I even tried asking for help to take him out. He didn't want to go. I have him an ultimatum and he didn't care. He told me to get out and pack my things. I packed my things and left when we only had our firstborn. He didn't even try to come after us. Instead, I see him online in the game having fun chatting. I ended up going back because I had no family to run to and did not have money at all. I was helpless and an emotional wreck. I still believe I am. I'm not really worried about him cheating, to be honest. I mean, he gave me his logins. He gives me his paycheck to pay bills and he doesn't really speak to any of our friends or his friends anymore. I even went through his phone and sadly he used to have many contacts. Now he barely has 10. And they're all coworkers. He would always tell me, just be happy that I'm not out partying with friends. All I do is go to work and come home to you guys right away. I mean, yeah, that's what he does. He's physically here with us but not mentally. Ike, if I'm saying it right. I'm trying not to cry. I'm 26-year-old and hubby is turning 33 next month. We have 2 boys, 6 and 2, and 10-month-old baby girl. Both graduated high school, went to vocational college and took medical assistant, and just recently graduated last month. Last time I had a job was 3 months ago. I had to let go because he said it was no use and that he makes more money and that I am only working to pay the babysitter. He smokes cigarettes. On our first year when I moved out of my parents' place and got our own apartment, I was cleaning because it was his b-day. I cleaned the bathroom and under the sink I seen a pipe hidden. I asked him if it was his and he said it might have been his friends when they came over. Then later on, found out he was smoking ice. That would explain his anger issues. I believe I'm just afraid. Like I said, I have no family to fall back on. Not just that, how do I even tell my kids? Or my eldest? I'm just confused out of my butt right now. I don't know how many times I cried in a closet. I don't feel like I'm his wife. For God's sake, we have 3 kids. Every time I tell him I need help with them, he shuts me off and tells me he's tired from work. Every time I tell him I'm tired and he doesn't do anything anymore, he gets very demonic and says, oh yeah, I don't do anything. Who pays your bills and feeds you guys? Try working for once and try being in my shoes so you know what I go through every day at work. I already know he's abusing me verbally. And yes, he does it to our kids also. My son would always ask me why his daddy is like that. Why he's always angry. I just hold him close and hug and tell him that daddy's tired from work. I really want to help him get rid of this addiction. I asked him today if he's addicted to the game and he just looked at me and rolled his eyes. I asked the second time and he got annoyed. Third time during lunch earlier today and he said yes, I'm addicted. I asked him what was so addicting, and even told him that I was once addicted but got tired of the game. He said I like rallying and burning people, getting my stats, kills high. That was the dumbest answer I've heard. I just walked away and let him play. I am going to start doing more research online about getting him some help. And as far as doing things on my own such as pleasing myself, spending time with the kids, I will definitely do that. I want and need to be independent. I can't always rely on him. I need to learn to be able to live without him if things change between us. I love him but I can't live this life with him and with my kids. If he's not going to change, then the start will be on me. Every other day I would just stare at him and give him a look. He would look back at me and would say what? Don't start with me. Then walks out and smoke while playing. This game has become his life. I told him the other night that his priorities are all jacked up. He said, not even. He's always shoving it to my face that he's the one making money and paying all the bills. I had a damn job at a medical office. Pay was good but not as high as his. He told me it was too far and that I won't have time to be a mom and a wife. I worked for 3 months. The doctors and medical director didn't like the fact I had to leave. They offered $3 more on top of what they started me. I had to deny it. I don't like how he always tells me that I have not paid or bought a single bill thing, when in fact, I split the bills with him during the time I was working. I always tell him not to slap it to my face that he's the one making money, because he knows how much I want to work. But once I do get offered a job and take it, here comes all these but it's too far. It's not worth it. How about the kids? You're really going to trust a non-family member to take care of them? I don't get him. I'm confused. I don't know what's up with him anymore. I don't know if something is bothering him. Usually, he would tell me. When he comes home, he would tell me about his day at work. I listen, ask questions. We would have a conversation on that. But then again, he's on his phone while speaking to me. There are times, rarely, when he feels like it, he would be sweet, puts his phone away, looks me in the eye and would remind me of how we met, what we used to do, and that we should revisit the places we've been to before we had kids. But that doesn't last long. He used to always bother me about bonding. After our firstborn, I wasn't feeling bonding anymore. I hated it. I wasn't feeling it at all. I guess that's where I messed up, huh? When he really wanted it, I was never in the mood. Our physical drive went downhill at that time. But after our third child, I would always try to act dirty and cute, even wear the things he liked on me. It didn't work. He kept saying he was too tired. TMI, but I even tried sitting on him when he was hard late morning. And he didn't even try. He woke up and looked at me and asked what I was doing. Well, that turned me off. Nowadays when we do it, it's when he wants to. When he needs it. When I say when he needs it, there are times he can't sleep. He tries to read his manga to fall asleep and play Go, but at times it doesn't help. So, he would set me up and after he's knocked out, said, I tried to get him into the things he loved doing. It did not work. He would enjoy it for a few minutes, hours, but there goes that phone again. And he gets stuck. After I cooked dinner, I'd bring the dish on the table. We would pray. Then I'd grab my food and put it on my plate. Hubby, on the other hand, just looks at me. I'd tell him let's eat. He would then ask me to put rice. We are Filipino, so we eat a lot of rice. I know it's carbs. On his plate and the food I just cooked. Okay, no problem, sure. Then I noticed that he would expect me to serve him his food every single time. Is it just me, or did I not just make you food? Why can't you grab it yourself and place it on your plate? I don't get it. I mean, I cooked for him. Food's ready, table is ready. Do I have to feed you too? You guys do that too. Another one. Us ladies know how tired our husband get from working. Well, every time my hubby gets home from work, I would give him his change of clothes. I'd tell him to change because he works at a retail store, so his uniform is pretty dusty and dirty. Well, every time he changes, he has a habit of not putting his dirty clothes, not just his uniform, straight to the laundry bin. He would just leave it where he's at. Do you do the same? Why? My comment. My wife cooks and serves me my food. She's a housewife and I'm the breadwinner. There's nothing wrong with catering to your man. What do you guys think? Comment down, and what would you do for your husband?